Empires rarely fall with a bang, like they collapse slowly, then all at once. And no matter how powerful they once were, they all share the same fatal weakness. It's not always invasion, rebellion, or even politics that ends them. It's money, or more precisely, the destruction of money. From Rome's silver denarius to Spain's flood of South American silver, from the British pound to today's US dollar, history keeps whispering the same warning. When a nation's currency dies, its empire soon follows. Stick around because once you see the pattern, you'll never unsee it. And if you enjoy deep dives like this, take a second right now to like and share this video. It really helps spread awareness of how economic history repeats itself. Empires begin in strength, discipline, productivity, and trust. Their money is sound, often tied to something real: gold, silver, or productive labor. But power breeds overconfidence. First comes dominance, the golden age when everything works. Then overextension, when the empire stretches itself too thin. Next, deficit spending, currency debasement, inflation, loss of confidence, and finally, collapse. It's the same seven-stage sequence from Rome to the United States today. Let's walk through this recurring pattern. The Roman Empire lasted more than 5 centuries. At its height, it ruled 60 million people, stretched across 3 continents, and its roads, armies, and administration were unmatched. The backbone of that empire was its money, the silver denarius. For centuries, each coin was pure silver. It was honest money, trusted from Britain to Egypt, but wars and expansion are expensive. As costs exploded, emperors faced a choice: raise taxes and anger the people, or quietly debase the currency. Nero chose the latter, reducing the silver content from 100% to 90%. Later emperors took it further: 80%, 50%, 20%. By 265 AD, the denarius contained just 5% silver. Soldiers were paid in coins that looked the same but were worth almost nothing. Prices soared, trade collapsed, and farmers refused to sell food for worthless money. By 476 AD, the Western Roman Empire was gone. Not destroyed by enemies, but by its own economic decay. Its money died first, the empire followed. 1,000 years later, Spain became the first global superpower. Gold and silver poured in from the New World, mountains of it. The Spanish real became the first true global currency. But too much money can be as dangerous as too little. Spain spent lavishly on wars and luxuries, importing everything instead of producing it. Prices across Europe rose tenfold in a century, the world's first great inflation. The crown borrowed constantly, defaulting 4 times in 40 years. Each default destroyed trust. Silver coins were mixed with copper, and the once powerful empire sank into debt and stagnation. The lesson? You can't print or mine your way to wealth. The Spanish Empire learned that the hard way: riches without discipline are a curse. By the early 20th century, Britain ruled a quarter of the planet. The pound sterling was the world's reserve currency, backed by gold, trusted everywhere. But world wars changed everything. World War I exploded Britain's debt, and by the end of World War II, the empire was bankrupt. The pound was devalued, the colonies became independent, and in 1944, the US dollar replaced the pound as the global standard. Britain didn't collapse overnight. It faded. A slow, painful descent from world power to ordinary nation. But again, the pattern was the same: debt, money printing, inflation, and loss of confidence. Then came the USSR, an empire built not on gold but ideology. It commanded vast lands, a huge army, and nuclear weapons, but its economy was hollow. The ruble wasn't trusted even by its own citizens. When oil prices fell and debts piled up, the Soviet Union ran out of hard currency to pay for imports. Factories couldn't produce, stores went empty, and people lost faith. In just 900 days, less than 3 years, a superpower vanished. The Soviet collapse proved that military might cannot survive economic rot. Now, we reach today. The United States, the latest empire to dominate the global stage. Since World War II, the US dollar has been the world's reserve currency. It was once backed by gold until 1971, when President Nixon ended that link. From that moment, the dollar became a fiat currency, backed not by gold, but by trust. At first, it worked. America's economy was unmatched. The world traded in dollars, saved in dollars, borrowed in dollars. But over time, the US followed the same script. Overextension, debt, debasement. The US maintains around 800 military bases in 70 countries, spending over $850 billion a year on defense. Wars in Iraq and Afghanistan cost more than $8 trillion combined, all of it funded by borrowing and printing money. Since 2000, the money supply has exploded. Since 2020, another $6 trillion was printed, more than in the previous century combined. Inflation surged and real purchasing power fell. And here's the striking part. The dollar's share of global reserves has dropped from 70% to just 58%. Central banks are buying gold at record levels. BRICS nations are trading in local currencies. Even Saudi Arabia is accepting Chinese yuan for oil. The pillars of dollar dominance are cracking. If you're still watching up to this point, you clearly value this kind of analysis. So let me know in the comments what you think. Do you believe the US dollar can recover its dominance? Or are we witnessing the slow motion end of an empire? Your perspective helps enrich this discussion. Let's recap the universal pattern of decline. It's not random, it's mathematical. Dominance, economic and military supremacy, currency trusted globally. Overextension, too many wars, promises, and debts. Deficit spending, borrowing becomes normal. Currency debasement, the printing presses start. Inflation, prices rise, real value collapses. Loss of confidence, the world begins to move away. Collapse, the empire loses financial and political power. Rome followed it, Spain followed it, Britain followed it, the Soviet Union followed it. And the United States, it's now between stages 5 and 6. The warning lights are flashing. But unlike past empires, the US dollar isn't just national, it's global. Its fall would shake every market, every currency, every savings account on Earth. What happens next? There are 3 possible outcomes for an empire at this stage. First, a controlled decline, like Britain after 1945. Painful, humiliating, but survivable. The nation adapts and becomes a smaller power. Second, a chaotic collapse, like Rome or the USSR. Rapid currency failure, political chaos, and social breakdown. Third, a reset and restructure. A new monetary system emerges. Maybe digital, maybe gold-backed, or maybe something entirely new. Painful, yes, but not total destruction. Which one America chooses depends on leadership, reform, and timing. And right now, none of those look promising. The deeper issue is not politics, but economics. You can't borrow forever, you can't print wealth, and you can't maintain empire without productive capacity. The math of empire is unforgiving, and it always wins in the end. History shows that every time a nation starts believing it's different, that's when the clock starts ticking faster. Spain thought its silver made it untouchable. Britain thought global trade would save it. The USSR thought ideology could outlast economics. America thinks the dollar is eternal. But patterns don't care about pride. The fall of an empire doesn't happen in one generation, but the warning signs do. Declining trust, rising debt, eroding productivity, and the quiet flight of confidence. It all begins long before collapse becomes visible. Right now, the United States is burning through the same stages faster than any empire before it. Printing trillions, fighting endless wars, running record deficits, and watching its manufacturing base vanish overseas. The pattern is no longer just history, it's present tense. And maybe, just maybe, the final stage, collapse, doesn't have to mean destruction. It could mean transformation. A reset that clears the debts, rebalances the system, and forces the world to rebuild on something real again. But time is running short, and history doesn't wait. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching and thinking deeply about this. If you found value in this breakdown, like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. It helps this channel grow and keeps you connected to future episodes as we track how this story unfolds in real time. Until next time, stay informed, stay alert, and remember, empires don't die of old age, they die of bad money.